Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass, and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky.
Witness Mr. Henry Bemis, a charter character in the fraternity
Mute,
of dreamers.
mute, Jack.
A bookish little man whose passion is the printed page, but who is conspired against by a bank president and a wife and a world full of tongue cluckers and the unrelenting hands of a clock. But in just a moment, Mr. Bemis will enter a world without bank presidents, or wives, or clocks, or anything else. He'll
Well,
have a
people
world
listening-
all to himself, without anyone.
All right. Moonshock?
I am the super seducer, and yes, I am that good. And oh, hi, Mark. How's your sex life?
Terry Diamantis.
I was trying to shine my love, but Jack killed my boner.
How dare he?
Shine, shine.
And this week's special guest, P-Dog Knight.
Progressive demand three things: your approval, your money, and your children.
Yep, that's true.
Hi there.
So, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Not bad at all. It's about to get a lot worse, though.
Yeah, probably. All right. And, P-Dog, I just have one thing to say to you. I just have to remind you of something.
Okay.
Her name is Alexandria, not AOC.
Oh, yeah. I don't call her AOC. I call her. Oh.
So what's
I
that
see.
donkey girl? Is that allowed?
When there, I got to hit the right screen here.
Walter.
I
What's
thought that
guy's last
this.
name?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Is that who you mean?
Yep.
It's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You gotta say it right.
She loves
wasn't there,
tacos and
like,
burritos.
Didn't somebody criticize people for using the initials of Amy Coney Barrett?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because she was
Yeah,
like being
because-
compared to RBG.
because how dare you compare her to RBG by using initials? So in one case, initials is a good thing, and in the other case, initials is a bad thing.
The only problem
Yeah,
I had
it
with
depends if I like you or not.
the only problem I had with people pronouncing Amy Coney Barrett with her initials is like somebody with dyslexia is like ACB. No, it's ABC. Get it right. It just sounded wrong.
Americans love to diminish minorities with nicknames.
Bye.
Oh yes, because
Walter.
using her initials is a rude nickname because only Latino people use initials.
What is this asshole's name? I gotta look him up.
Walter
It was the
Rain?
progressives who did that shit. They
Was it?
came up with a nickname for her. And wait a minute. Minorities. Is Ruth Bader Ginsburg a minority?
No, she's Jewish, isn't she?
She was a woman. They probably count that.
There it is.
You know what this is? This is the same thing every time
Oh, dear
this
God.
group of people tries to replace a word. A word has an inherently bad connotation associated with it. Like the word retarded. Guess what? Being retarded is in general a bad thing. But then all of a sudden the word becomes associated with a bad thing, so you can't say the word anymore. You have to change the word. This is the same principle all over again. AOC has become inexorably linked to AOC. And that's why it now has an inherently bad connotation, because AOC is an inherently stupid person.
And speaking of retarded, let's read the article. My wife was born in Lima, Peru, and her name is unusual there and unheard of in the United States. That being said, it's not hard to learn how to pronounce her name, and she has no patience for people who can't bother to make the effort. The biggest hang-up is that it starts with a Z, but in Spanish, a Z is often pronounced like an S. I always tell people that they should disregard the Z and pronounce the first syllable of her name like Sue. Nevertheless, Americans seem to think they're being cute when they insist on coughing up a hard Z. My wife's boss thought it was hilarious how she couldn't get the name right and continued to mispronounce it even after multiple reminders. In response, my wife filed an HR complaint accusing our boss of racism and bullying.
That seems a bit much.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, lady. Guess what? People mispronounce names all the time. People mispronounce my name all the time.
And his name is Jack. His name is Jack, and people mispronounce it.
I call him Jake.
People mispronounce my actual name wrong all the time. People frequently get it wrong. And guess what? I don't give a shit because I understand that sometimes it's difficult to pronounce a foreign sounding name.
Like
That's
Jake Gansko.
That's called reality. Just Jesus Christ, get a grip, lady. Get
Sorry, but that's
Jake?
Jesus. Thank you.
get the plunger out of your fucking cunt, you lady.
Wow, we get saucy here. I didn't know I could do that.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm ready now. I'm prepping for. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know this.
Say what you want.
Yeah, this is the place where you're gonna be coming and seeing Jack as he gets triggered over and over again. We're eventually going to give him an aneurysm, but that has yet to happen.
All of a sudden, the boss didn't find mispronouncing the name quite so funny. But aren't these charges too extreme? No, you'll pronounce my name right, and that's all there is to it. So then the boss...
She sounds nice. She sounds like a
Yeah.
nice person.
Yeah,
I
and
want to get to know this person more.
She sounds even worse as you go on in the article.
Oh jeez.
So then the boss made a show of saying my wife's name right and acted like she deserved some kind of reward. My wife had none of it. See, you were being a racist bully. You've just demonstrated that you are always capable of pronouncing my name correctly. My wife eventually left that job. To this day, some people act like she overreacted, but some people
I
are...
She
why.
did. Gee fucking whiz.
But some people are still fight the Civil War or insist that Trump won the 2020 election.
Oh, speaking of which, this is the same guy that also wrote an article here on Medium called "If you voted for Trump, you're dead to me."
Well, I'm happy to be dead to this person. I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't want any relationship with this person. I want them. I want to be in a different universe than this person.
Yeah, and Kiever Dam or Dr. Kiev, I'm not sure.
Cute.
Yeah, you changed your name. Stop it. Anyway, he's making a good point because no white person has a name that's hard to pronounce. Like, my friend has like a long Polish name and people screw it up all the time and make fun of it. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was at school, there was a kid. His surname was UJSZASZI. Not one person ever pronounced it correctly.
What's his?
Oh, yeah, because they were probably saying Zed.
What's his Zed?
Zed is a zombie.
P-Dog. Zed's dead, P-Dog. Zed's dead.
Z is the last letter of the alphabet. I'm surprised you are unaware of this.
Oh God, you're one of those.
Shouldn't you be calling him? Shouldn't you be calling him Ped Dog?
What?
All right. Let's see. The simple fact is that mispronouncing a person's name is a weapon Americans often use to marginalize people, and it's often deployed.
Is it though? Is it though?
Of course it is. It says right in the article.
Sorry. I hope you're not real sensitive to interruptions.
It's fine. And it's often,
I make it a regular thing.
and it's often deployed against women. We need to point abusers out and hold them accountable, even if they try to insist what they're doing is no big deal. I was scrolling through my phone as I drank my morning coffee, and I noticed that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was sparring with Ted Cruz on Twitter. I'm a big fan of Alexandria, of course you are, and I despise Ted Cruz, of course you do. So I was delighted by the exchange. I turned to my wife. Hey, did you hear what AOC said to Ted Cruz? I was surprised to see my wife's eyes narrow. Her name is Alexandria, she said sharply.
How dare he? You know
You
what?
know-
Your wife should leave you for that incident right there, because that's just proof of your racism.
Well, her fans call her AOC, so shut the fuck up.
What an unbearable cunt.
That was
Yes.
terrible.
At first, I didn't understand her objection, and I was still excited to discuss how Ocasio-Cortez had just spanked Rafael Cruz. Yeah, well, she's commonly called AOC. At this, my wife lost her patience. You Americans with your annoying abbreviations, she muttered. You look at a beautiful ethnic name, and instead of even trying to pronounce it, you just give up and soil yourselves.
My God,
What?
these
She's
two
an
people
American.
deserve each other.
AOC is an American, so there you go.
Yeah.
And
These
nobody
two
has any
people,
problem pronouncing your name, just no one wants to say the whole damn thing. Be
these
honest.
two, pe-
How
These
about
two
a
people-
compromise? You go Donkey Girl. That way, we're not calling her AOC. We're not calling her Alexandria. There's just a middle ground for everyone.
these two people are insufferable, and I hope that they drive each other to an early grave.
So when she says beautiful ethnic name, is she talking about Alexandria, like the city named after a Greek? Or Cortez, the guy who conquered and slaughtered the Aztecs?
Yeah, are you related to a conquistador by chance?
Yeah. The radical right is far more adept than the reasonable left at weaponizing the media. Part of the reason...
Really?
What planet are we on?
You don't say.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I missed a part. I confess I resisted her argument for a moment, but after thinking about it, I realized that she is absolutely right. I'm fluent in Spanish, and I know how to pronounce Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's name. Well, good for you. It was stunning to stop and recognize that I'd been coerced into minimizing her as a person by normalizing the substitution of her initials for her full name.
No. Are we also going to think about, does this mean the old show Hee Haw was because of her? Since she is a donkey after all. So apparently she's going to claim that show as her own too.
Also, AOC's name isn't hard to pronounce. It's just long.
At all.
Yeah.
Not at all. No, nobody, they don't abbreviate it because they don't know how to pronounce it. Now maybe where's his wife from? Peru, some shit.
Yeah.
Maybe people in Peru.
It's the same reason that people say Arnie instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyone can pronounce Schwarzenegger.
Hey,
It's just that it's a long fucking name.
That's some xenophobic shit. Say his name correctly. American nicknames.
Yeah, she just has like a really long name, and it's easier to say AOC.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
mean-
her fans started that shit, not the people who disparage her.
Wow.
Who has trouble saying Alexandria? That's not even that's a traditional Western name at this point. No
Yeah.
one has trouble saying it.
And even she went by Sandy most of her life.
Wow. What a
She was
bigot.
Sandy. She was Sandy in high school.
All right, let's see. The radical right is far more adept than the reasonable left at weaponizing the media. Part of the reason is that their base is always energized by immaturity. From Sleepy Joe to Crooked Hillary, it's easy to recognize how every Democratic politician is instantly assigned a diminutive moniker.
There it is. And I was going to say,
What?
He has heard of Moscow Mitch, but it's in the next sentence.
The left tries to respond in kind, but names like Moscow Mitch just don't have the staying power. This is because the majority of the liberal voting base isn't perpetually entertained by throwing around grade school insults like the right. Or is it just because they're bad at coming up with nicknames?
I think that might be it.
There's a reason people say the left can't meme. The The left is too preoccupied with trying to solve the real problems of the country and doesn't waste its time keeping insulting nicknames in the public eye.
Yeah, the real problems like pronouns.
Yeah. But as immature as these nicknames are, they do have a stunning power to influence political narratives. For example, the Affordable Care Act is commonly known as Obamacare. The result of this renaming is that the uneducated public becomes even easier to manipulate. You have staunch Republicans who insist they support the Affordable Care Act and despise Obamacare, completely oblivious to the fact that they are the same thing.
Citation needed.
No, but some people are morons. So what? There's morons on both sides.
Yeah.
What Republicans?
Yeah, I don't recall seeing many Republicans say they like the Affordable Care Act. The nickname.
I'll admit, I have seen it. I have seen some people say they like the Affordable Care Act, but not Obamacare. But as I said, there's morons on both sides.
Like
You found some stupid people. Good for you.
Well, clearly, people that are like that in the Obama or the ACA, we clearly have to vote those people in to see what they're going to be like.
Yeah, of course.
You will never know what it's like. You got to vote them in first to see how bad they are.
Yeah. The nickname creates a kind of exploitable confusion, and the political right runs with it. It's problematic that the left tends to go along with the passive-aggressive impulse of the right to rename everything. On the few
Because
instances...
it's the right renaming everything. The left isn't redefining any words at all.
The left never redefines anything, ever.
No.
Ever.
No, because they're too
just
mature.
Like the example I brought over just earlier, the word retarded. You know, they didn't try and erase that word from history.
On the few instances where they object, the members of the right-wing media begin braying like a couple of donkeys. The odious Tucker Carlson wasted little time.
Wait.
See, we're back to hee-haw again. See that?
He had the nerve to talk about donkeys in an article about AOC.
I know.
How dare he compare her to an animal that she resembles?
Yeah. The odious Tucker Carlson wasted little time mispronouncing the name Kamala. The moment the senator from California...
That's camel toe.
Try it. What's her name?
Kamala.
Camel.
See?
It's like Kamala, not Kamala. But it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what your name is. I'll pronounce whoever I want.
There's only one Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris.
See, you even said it wrong.
Well, no. Do you know Kamala Harris? There's only one true Kamala Harris.
That's the wrestler.
Kamala Uganda Giant. David Harris? James Harris. That's his name.
Yeah. There was a wrestler by the name of Kamala. His real surname was Harris.
Yeah, James Harris.
Yeah.
And he wasn't he like a big voodoo kind of guy, the character?
He was like a
voodoo witch doctor.
Kind of a witch doctor looking dude, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's everyone said it that way because everyone knows who Kamala the Ugandan Giant is. You know, because who is it that Jericho Green calls Kamala Harris Kamala the Ugandan Nightmare?
Yeah, James Arthur Harris was his name.
Can we start
Ugandan Giant?
Can we start calling Kamala Harris the Ugandan Nightmare?
That's what Jericho Green calls her that. Kamala the Ugandan Nightmare. He calls her.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Wasted a little time mispronouncing the name Kalamalama Ding Dong. The moment the senator from California was named as Joe Biden's running mate. When called out on its ignorance, Carlson, following the playbook of the radical right, affected false outrage and tried to paint the left as a group of unreasonably strict grade school teachers. The problem is that even if the members of the left insist on referring to people and policy by their formal names, they still end up wasting media time discussing something other than policy. Perhaps the best response is to keep asking who, until the right-wing media personality manages to use the correct language and pronunciation.
Or you could just not be a juvenile little shit.
No, that's impossible. Even that response, however, amounts to the right pulling the left down to an immature interaction. The simple reality is that people who refuse to conduct themselves in a courteous and respectful manner shouldn't be allowed to participate in an adult conversation.
People on the right are children, is what they're saying.
Shouldn't be allowed?
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
They mispronounced a word. I mean, if there's any reason to ban someone from public discourse.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. I'm firmly entrenched in the camp that believes Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a sincere and decent human being.
Then you're an idiot.
That's only one of your problems.
I believe she's one of the few people in our government who is actually working in the interests of the people. She's enormously popular, and there's a real chance that she could someday make an impactful run at the presidency.
God help us all.
If she becomes president, she will be President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She will not be President AOC.
That will never happen, guaranteed.
Brain aneurysm. Here it comes.
Does JFK ring a bell? Or LBJ? Yeah.
Obviously,
No.
they were. Oh, sorry. They were obviously very racist towards JFK
Yep.
for him being white.
Well, he was.
His name's kind of hard to pronounce, so I get it.
Yeah. Well, he was the first Catholic.
Damn white people.
Damn white people.
Oh, and Kiev brings up FDR because that's such a it's racist not to be able to pronounce Franklin.
That's true.
Well,
Frank.
to be fair, his middle name is Delano. How many times you come across that name?
Fair point.
There's a city in Minnesota called Delano.
Well, they should
That's
shorten
racist.
it to D. I realize
clearly everybody loves the D, so there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I realize that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has embraced the AOC moniker. Obviously, she has every right to do that if she so chooses. It's her Twitter handle, among other things. However,
But doesn't that invalidate the entire point of the article? If she is fine with it, then what's your complaint?
now he's gonna explain it clearly and without any possible argument to the contrary.
Okay,
However,
I'm listening.
However, I've also noticed that people like Bernie Sanders show her the courtesy of referring to her as Alexandria. Those of us who are fans of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez can make the choice to show her more respect and dignity by referring to her by her full name. See?
There we go.
Yeah, when you're talking to her or talking to her in Congress, but if you're just writing stuff out, especially if you're on Twitter, you're not going to write that out. It takes up half your character.
Also, this guy's working under the assumption that we want to show her respect and dignity.
Oh, good point.
It's also true, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the point of calling someone a name. When
Yeah, if I'm gonna call AOC a name, I'm gonna call her something meaner than AOC.
Oh, here's more about the wife. When my wife's old boss didn't pronounce her name correctly, my wife refused to respond. The boss would stand there bleeding like a goat, and my wife wouldn't turn her head. Sometimes the boss would go and tap her on the shoulder. "Don't you dare touch me, that's assault."
Again, not an overreaction.
And nope. But I was saying your name. No, you weren't. If you expect a response when you address me, then you will extend me the courtesy of saying my name correctly.
How about when I give you your pink slip? Good
Yep.
Lord.
A tap on the shoulder is assault. Among the many problems with our society is that Americans have convinced themselves that they're entitled to not pronounce an ethnic name correctly. They seem to view this as an opportunity to celebrate their ignorance. This is a perspective that we need to change. It's not okay to laugh at a person's name. It's not okay to mispronounce it. It's not okay to substitute some obnoxious abbreviation.
Look, the number of people who've gotten my surname right are very, very low. Even after I've told people, they still get it closer than they were, but still kind of wrong. And like, I don't care. If I know you mean me, I'll respond.
How about this? How about people just not get their panties in a wad? Because this is the most petty fucking thing I've heard in a long time. This is just really fucking petty.
But what if it's
Jesus fucking Christ.
But what if it's a
And
beautiful
this
ethnic
wife-
wad?
This wife, I hope she dies.
That's a little harsh.
Wow.
I go that far.
Wow. Wow. That's a,
I'm gonna be nicer to Jack. I'm gonna hope she lives a long, long life and is made completely miserable by her cunt of a husband.
I'm sorry for this, but
Wow.
I just hope that I just hope that every day someone taps her on the shoulder.
No, I hope that she lives a long life, a long, healthy life, where people constantly mispronounce her name. I hope that she is constantly bombarded for the rest of her natural life by people in every aspect of her life who cannot get her fucking Z name correct.
Don't participate in this. Politely ask how to pronounce a name. Apologize if you get it wrong. Be sincere, diligent, and courteous in your effort to get it right. Be a better person. Be mindful and don't let the radical right coerce you into diminishing individuals who are just as entitled to respectful treatment as anyone else.
Good God.
and fuck Coach K.
Who's Coach K?
Mike Krzyzewski from Duke.
Huh?
Basically, my takeaway is if you have a stupid name, then people will get it wrong.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Not everyone does sports like me. Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K from Duke University.
Never heard of any of this.
Never heard of him? Okay, well.
That's football?
Wasn't he a monster in Monsters Inc? Oh wait, that's Mike Wazowski.
I know all sorts of things about the sports.
Is it, no, wait. I think that's the guy from The Office, isn't it?
P Dawg is just dying on the inside.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, you guys, shut the fuck up.
Somebody put a whole bunch of names that are hard to pronounce in here. Olga Milinkowitz. Olga Milinkowitz. Who I don't know who that is, Dr. Keeve. Heinrich Niewandowski. Who's this other one he had? Oh, Zach Galifianakis.
Yep.
It's okay, all kinds of them.
Svetlana Doroshenko.
How do you say? Is it Djokovic? Who's the tennis player? Djokovic? Or I don't know.
Tom Brady.
Hey, you know what? What?
That name is so hard to pronounce.
Most of those are white males, so we make sure we do it right. Except for Coach K, because a lot of people do that anyway. But you don't know who the fuck Coach K is.
No.
I don't
I
follow
know
the
who
sports
Coach
ball.
Z is. I know who
Coach
Coach Z
Zed.
is.
All right.
That's his proper name. It's Coach Z.
I don't know who Coach Z is either.
No one here a fan of Homestar Runner. Okay.
Is that some anime shit?
No. No, it's-
I'm vaguely aware of Homestar Runner, but I never got into it enough to know the names of the characters.
Yeah.
Except for
it was
Strong
a
I know
it
there's
was
a
a-
strong
yeah. It was a series of flash animations back in the day, before YouTube, that everybody loved,
well, not
except you apparently.
All right. And with the end of the first article, it's time for the first game.
Woohoo!
And this one is called the Horseshoe Game. So,
Oh dear.
So, P-Dog, With this one, I'm going to read 2 quotes from 2 different online forums. One is from a Black Separatist forum, and the other is from Stormfront. And you have to guess which is which.
All right.
That shouldn't be difficult since he has a lifetime membership to Stormfront.
Exactly.
All right. And I'll also...
And I'm a Black Separatist, so there you go. I got a both.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Are you a living contradiction, sir?
And I'll also be running a poll, so those in the chat can vote. All right. So, quote A, "We are blank. Enjoy it. Be proud of it. And all the others can go to hell. Boo-hoo."
Wow.
And quote B, "How many blank people in America and globally are walking around literally mimicking everything blank people do or say?"
I think B is black and A is white.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the other way. A,
Yeah.
the blacks, or excuse me, A is the whatever Stormfront, and B is the Black Separatist.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh,
I'm gonna say
no, you did not.
No, B is black, A is white.
Yes. A is
I'm going to
Stormfront,
say-
B is Black Separatists.
I'm going to say that they're both Black Separatists. And I think that the word that's being covered up in A is niggers.
I think that in B, how many white people in America, blah, 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 and mimicking everything black people do or say. I think that's what B is saying.
All right.
Yeah, I think B is black and A is white.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Final answer.
P-Dog, did you vote?
How do you do this? Oh,
You
gotta
don't
do
vote. You just say it.
Yeah,
we
just
just
yeah.
say it. And
Like which
the
one?
audience is going to vote.
I know I did. I said the imitate one is the Black Separatist.
okay.
Is that B? I don't know.
All right.
Yes,
And-
you're correct. You're agreeing with what we're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the chat seems mostly siding with A. Just give a few seconds for the poll to finish. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, apparently
and,
that. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, and the answer is A is Stormfront. All right, and
Rigged.
the uncensored versions are: "We are white. Enjoy it. Be proud of it. And all the others can go to hell. Boo-hoo." And "How many black people in America and globally are walking around literally mimicking everything white people do
Oh,
or
yeah.
say?"
See, that's exactly what I thought.
I'm disappointed there was no mention of the Jews.
Well,
I mean,
since I'm clearly a black separatist, I knew what B was going to be. So,
You know, I'm sure they come up with a few other sentences.
well, they can't all be about the Jews.
I think they can. I think you just need to look harder.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I see how you vote. I'm here.
It's,
Well, you don't have to vote, like through the poll
I did
thing.
now. I did it.
I mean,
you don't have to vote with them.
the poll's already over anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you're on the screen, you can just say your answer. The poll is mostly just for chat so that they can contribute.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they can feel like they're a part of something.
Yeah, they're not part of this anyway. It's mostly about us. Actually, it's all about us.
Feel the
And people are voting to the right.
love
Check who's voting after the poll closed as well.
I'm just kidding, chat. We love you. Please continue to give us attention. Without you, we're doomed.
All right, and now it's time for the second article.
Uh-oh.
Dragon Ball Z taught me that race is a social construct.
Wow.
I'm going to ask you the question that you asked me earlier. Is this some anime shit?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
yes, it is. Turning lemons into unapologetically black cartoon characters.
Okay.
Can I just say? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, who's the author so I can look this bastard up?
Chika Ekamezi?
You're gonna have to spell that out to me.
Just look at the screen. It's on the screen.
It's fuzzy. I can. It's a little bit blurred. That's why I can't see it.
Moon can't read.
Can I
Shut
just
up.
say for the record that I love Japan. Japan is awesome because Japan be having none of this shit. They don't give a fuck.
Is
No.
it she?
Now instead they're doing like hentai shit and wanting to.
Yeah, they're doing God's work over there.
Moonshock.
And
Thank you, sir.
wanting
Appreciate
to
it.
have sex with tentacles and shit.
Mhm.
All right.
Hell yeah. Oh, earlier I saw an article of there was like some Japanese mayor or something like that basically
Oh,
said
dear
that
God.
women talk too much in meetings.
Yes.
And I
Oh.
thought that was the funniest fucking thing.
Do you want the self description of this? What this person says about herself? And yes,
Sure.
I am
Here we
gendering her. She goes. It says, "Who is Chica? I ask questions. I write on the internet. I talk shit. I'm a freelance writer who writes about sex, dating, and the politics of life. You can find my work in publications like Cosmopolitan, Zora, and Bustle, and you can always find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm currently based in Washington, D.C., but you can never take the jersey out of this girl."
Let me be an example of something this woman has written for Cosmopolitan, for example. Here's the headline. COVID-19 has completely ended all physical intimacy with strangers, and I hate it. That's literally one of her headlines from Cosmo. I knew I recognized this name.
Mhm.
Oh my
All right.
lord.
So a self-described
hate
slut. Anyone who watches.
Sorry, I just wanted to correct the record. Evolved Potato tells me it was the person in charge of the Tokyo Olympics that said that women talk too much in meetings.
Oh, see, we got sports ball in here. We know the sports.
Yeah.
Anyone who watches Dragon Ball Z knows that Piccolo is black. Yes, he's green.
Bullshit. He's an
green.
alien. He's an alien. Jesus fucking Christ.
Stop
Wow.
being a
The only
bigot.
reason this person is saying that is because he wears a turban. That's literally the only reason this person is. I'm willing to bet it right now.
Now, if I recall correctly, there actually is a character in Dragon Ball Z that is black and has that stereotypical black face with the with the big red circle for a mouth and big
Yep.
buggy eyes. That person.
Yes, there is.
Why is she not going after that character?
Well, that doesn't fit her narrative.
Obviously.
Axnar gets it. It's Mr. Popo.
Mr. Popo.
That is the name of the character
Oh my God.
with the black face and the giant fucking lips. That's Mr. Popo.
Oh, wow. All right, continue. Sorry for interrupting there. Go ahead.
Yes, he's green. Yes, he was born from an egg. And yes, I know that technically he comes from planet Namek.
Namek, I don't know. Who cares?
But to me, and to millions of other black viewers, Piccolo is black.
Capital B.
Okay, there's something wrong with that sentence too.
Something wrong with what?
Something else wrong with that last sentence.
What?
Millions of other black viewers. Come on, they ain't no black people watching anime.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's
Okay,
not
there's-
true.
no, there-
That's
no,
not
no,
true.
I know
I-
it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's
a
the
joke.
author, Satsu, and
That's the weird thing, because I've seen a really large disproportionate amount of black people in my time that watch anime. See, from my perspective, it seems like the exact opposite. I think that there's some sort of weird subculture within black people that adores anime.
Jack,
Could be.
all you saw was your boy Pat. He's just so big you thought he was multiple people.
it's your boy Pat, Satsu, and that's it.
No.
It's not just Piccolo. It's Raven from Teen Titans, Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog, Skeeter from Dawg. Whenever there isn't a black character on a beloved animated show, black people will say to hell with it and just create our own.
That's healthy.
Raven is not black.
Okay.
Why is that?
Not Knuckles.
Huh?
Neither is Knuckles. I mean, Knuckles is red.
Knuckles.
Well,
Knuckles
Knuckles.
is a hedgehog. Do we really need to be talking about this?
He's an
I believe
echidna.
Yes.
This is this is the fucking remember the top 10 Star Wars black characters article from a few
Number
years
one.
back.
Go ahead, Terry.
No, the number one black Star Wars character was the Force.
Yes, and also Yoda is black.
Oh,
No,
God.
I already said in Lords of the Night that the Force can't be black because Obi-Wan told a kid that it would be with him always.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh,
you son of you absolute son of a bitch.
Is he wrong?
Wow.
I don't care. It's funny. Why is that? Well, first of all, representation matters. For children in particular, not seeing themselves on screen can lead to negative psychological outcomes, namely low
Look, I never
self-esteem.
saw myself once on TV. Not once did I see myself on TV.
Mhm.
Never happened.
Why?
I've never. Well, what about right now?
Why is this woman calling Knuckles black when Shadow the Hedgehog is clearly black in that whole thing?
Yeah,
Of the three, you would think that Shadow would be called the black one, not Knuckles.
Shadow is literally black.
Yes.
Also, isn't Knuckles like the muscly dumb one?
Yes, he is.
Why?
I grew up watching Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island reruns. I didn't see no black people in those. I'm just fine.
They didn't exist back then.
But P-Dog, Gilligan was black.
I mean,
you can only see my face right now. I
I
know the crowd can see my face, but
I mean, Gilligan's Island did have a ginger. At least it had that.
Oh my God.
Oh, that
Ah.
that is wonderful.
Unfortunately, even though the data is clear that children benefit from seeing depictions of themselves on screen, for many of us of a certain age, those portrayals just weren't there in the pop culture phenomena of our youth. If I wanted to escape reality in the worlds of my favorite anime or action cartoons,
this entire story is you trying to escape reality. Sorry, go on.
I had to indulge in some race bending. And boy,
well, since most anime is made in Japan and they don't like black people anyway, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of black people in anime. Sorry.
yeah.
And why the fuck are you watching anime anyways? Sorry, that's just me.
And boy, did I. The lengths I went to find myself in my favorite cartoons were truly art in itself. Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls had a black bob, the only hairstyle. What?
No, that's all you need for a character to be black. Is like a bob.
Black hair.
That confirms it.
So basically, this author is admitting to themselves that all of their perceptions of television are, strictly speaking, delusional.
Yes.
And again, I believe Buttercup was the belligerent one.
She was one in green,
Yeah.
yeah. She wore
And
green.
was very much white. All three of them were white, believe it or not.
That's racist, Jack.
The only hairstyle that was attainable for me at that time. Plus, with her raspy voice and take no shit attitude, I just knew she was black. You really gonna tell me that Knuckles, the echidna from Sonic the Hedgehog, told you, Jack, whose prickly spines look awfully similar to Locke's, isn't a Rasta who happens to have red skin?
Oh,
Oh my
shut the
God.
hell up.
What?
No. You ever notice how a lot of them they lose their fucking shit when the whole white appropriation of black culture? Do you see a single fucking white person getting all up in arms about this stupid bitch doing this stupid crap? Like, oh no, that person's clearly black, or this character's clearly black.
It's all race politics. It's not.
Yes.
There's no argumentative substance to this shit at all. And you know what? I see it everywhere. I go on Twitter, and the Twitter is the easiest place to find it, because what you'll see is there's a drawing, and then someone, to be edgy, makes a black version of that same drawing. Like, oh, this girl is white. Well, I made her beautiful now because now she's black. And
Mhm.
it's like, Jesus, what if this was done the opposite? And it's funny because people do the opposite, but they don't do it because they want to make the person look correct. They do it because they want to get underneath a racist skin, and that's the easiest way to do it, is to take a black person and draw it as a white person.
I'm surprised they haven't turned on Michael Jackson. He was the ultimate in going from black to white.
No. Michael Jackson was white.
Michael Jackson had a skin pigmentation problem.
And it was
He really did.
No, and it
Yes.
was a racist skin pigmentation problem.
Yes, vitiligo is completely racist.
It is.
Well, his music sucked either way.
Shut up.
Back
Hey,
in
Frosted, before you go insulting other people, you got to check out the man in the mirror.
God,
He's asking you to make a change.
I hate you people. All right. Back in 1971, Jon Stewart's Green Lantern made history as one of the first black superheroes to appear in DC Comics. He remained a token for the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited series that aired 3 decades later. I wanted to see myself, a black woman, as one of the main characters too, so naturally I gravitated to Hawkgirl, Lantern's love interest, who used her helmet as a protective style until her hair was finally ready to flow freely on its own. I adopted her as one of us too.
So now you're adopting one. Never mind. Nothing. Go on.
Raven from Teen Titans? Obviously black. She just didn't know her undertones, which is why she looked so gray.
Oh my god.
So
That
this person
character-
is not. They're not only delusional, but they're also illiterate of all the things they're talking about.
No, all these people are black.
You want to know who else was black? Felix the cat. There you go.
There you go. It's funny because since Raven's mom was white, that would mean that Raven's black heritage would have had to come from her father. And I don't know if you knew her father, but it was basically like a demon, a big
Yes.
demon incarnate type.
Yeah, she's a half demon.
But also, Moonshock,
Yes.
you mentioned Felix the cat. Felix is actually PewDiePie's first name, and PewDiePie is a Nazi. So you're being extremely problematic right now, and I want you to
I'm
apologize.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Dante, it's Trigon,
Bacon.
the literal devil.
Clearly, I was being racist when I said Felix the cat was black.
So Satan was black and shit.
Yes, the Prince of Darkness is black.
We was devils.
We was demons.
He
y'all.
was Satan.
We was Satan.
Yeah, the cops are here.
Yep,
Oh,
there comes
shit.
the cops.
There they are.
Not again.
You guys are gonna have to bail me out this time. I've run out of cash bail.
Well, just keep some in your prison wallet.
I don't even want to know what that means. I'm gonna look it up.
Figure it out.
Oh, I will.
But the one character that we can wholeheartedly agree on has to be Piccolo. Next to Goku's childlike enthusiasm and Vegeta's Napoleon complex, Piccolo felt like DBZ's calm, cool, and collected straight man. That's homophobic.
Oh my god.
Did you
Oh
just
dear
look
god,
up?
I just looked up.
You just looked up
Yes.
prison wallet.
Yes,
Oh no!
I kind of.
No, I need to look it up.
Are you telling me you people
Oh,
don't know
no.
what prison wallet means?
The anal cavity of a convict used to store valued possessions like drugs and weapons.
I figured
It's also known as keystring. The fine art.
I'm
of
surprised you had to look that up. I thought that was like
Holy
I've never
shit.
heard the term before, and I just immediately knew based on context that it
Yeah,
had to be the arsehole.
yeah. Like
I
where do you
thought
keep stuff when
maybe-
you're in prison?
I thought maybe it was like between the ass cheeks, but no, they mean
Oh.
like in the anus.
Oh my god.
You see, that's white privilege right there.
What, having a big enough ass canal to stick shit into?
No, it's
No
not
pun intended.
not knowing what a prison wallet is.
And yeah, and they specifically cite weapons, which makes me think somebody shoved a shiv in their asshole so they could stab someone.
Well, of course they did.
Well, clearly they put in the blunt side first. That way. See, that way they have a stinger like a bee.
So, what's this article say now?
Yeah, we're talking about prison wallets here, sir. Come on.
All right. While the rest of the original Z fighters fell off as extraterrestrial beings, became increasingly prominent, Piccolo remained a fixture. In fact, at the height of Piccolo's strength, he qualified as a black bald leader guy, and that's underlined for some reason.
It's underlined because those are 3 separate links. So if you click on them, there'll be more articles explaining how he's black, bald, and a leader guy, I presume.
Fair enough. I mean, look at his non-fighting clothes if you need more proof. I'm not making this up.
Wait, so he's black because of his clothes.
Does the man not wear a turban
He's
and
black.
gigantic pauldrons?
Didn't I call this earlier? She thinks he's black because he wears a turban.
You'd think that would mean he's like Muslim or something.
Yeah, it makes more sense than black.
I gotta see pictures of Piccolo. Oh, this big green motherfucker.
Yeah, he's the green man is. Don't believe your eyes. Believe what this author is saying. Because he wears a turban, Piccolo is black.
There you go. That's Piccolo right
Piccolo
there.
a good guy or a bad guy?
He's good, supposedly. But
I thought he was a bad guy.
no,
I don't know.
He's one of he's
No,
one of the good team.
It's complicated.
All right. Well, he dresses like this apparently, so that makes him black.
All I'll say is that I've seen one episode of Dragon Ball Z and nothing happened in it. So I maintain that nothing happens the entire series.
Evolved Potato brings up an excellent point. At the start of the series, in the original Dragon Ball series, Piccolo is evil, and then he tries to take over the world. And once he does, the first thing he does is eliminate all laws and lets crime run amok in the cities. That's the
Wow.
first thing he does.
So what this woman is saying is that maybe he is black. I'm kidding.
Maybe he is Joe Biden.
Wow.
Anyway.
I'll give you that. He's closer to being Joe Biden than he is to being
Well,
black.
You do have to remember, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you're not black. So
Wait, P Dawg, are you black?
I guess I'm not. I don't know.
Oh dear.
Well, the stimulus he'll give, to help the economy is over 9,000. And that's the extent of my Dragon Ball knowledge.
Don't worry. The stimulus includes a few black cards.
Even if I were
go ahead, man. Sorry.
Even if I were projecting, what's the big deal? Race is an arbitrary social construct anyway, based on non-scientific criteria like the paper bag test or the one-drop rule.
Oh, I
What?
see. It's arbitrary. It doesn't exist at all. So why do you give a shit what color he is? If it doesn't exist, if it's totally arbitrary, why do you give a shit what color anyone is?
Yeah, so why do you need to see people who are the same race as you if it's just a social construct?
Oh my god, this is so fucking disingenuous. It makes me want to puke.
That reality is made especially clear when considering biracial folks who are white passing. Think Logic and Halsey. I don't know who they are.
Wait. This woman clearly has no idea what she's doing because she capitalized the word white. How dare her?
Mhm.
That's cultural
Well,
appropriation.
Logic is a biracial folk who is white passing because I didn't know that the author knew him. So there you go.
Maybe she thought she was starting a new sentence.
Here's an idea.
In the
I
middle
just
of a
want-
sentence.
I just want to pose this idea to all of you. Maybe this whole black and white racial thing is a concept that is exclusive to human beings, and that non-human beings aren't traditionally seen as black or white.
Jack.
So, like,
Why is it called a black bear then?
So are you saying that
by
because
the racial
Great
connotation.
white shark.
Yeah, and why
So-
why are white bears called polar bears?
so
Yeah,
what
because black bears kill people just like black people.
Oh,
Clearly,
Jesus
parallel
Christ.
to
Come
this.
on, Terry.
disavow?
Aren't you glad you came
Wait
on
a
the
minute,
show?
wait a minute.
Oh, did you do that face again?
Yes, he is.
So I believe what Jack is trying to say is that because Piccolo is black, he's not human.
There you go.
Which I
Yes,
think is
that is exactly it.
Clearly.
People.
Hmm?
And he kills people.
yeah, that which is really offensive, Jack. You know, it's hella it's hella nebulous. I can't believe they said hella. As such,
Oh my god.
as
Well,
such,
she said hella.
it's like hella nebulous.
Totally.
Yeah,
As
that
such,
means a lot. It's really. I'm translating black for you.
oh, is that a black thing? Because the only
That's a
time
black thing.
the only time I've heard it was in a stupid video game, and it was a white chick who said it.
Oh well, because she's doing cultural appropriation.
Yeah. As such, I'm going to continue to claim my cartoon faves as black, regardless of their actual skin color. But how do they have an
So you're
actual
going
skin
to
color if it's a social construct?
Yeah,
I was just
you-
like, you do you.
Right.
yeah. So you're actively participating in your own delusion. This entire article is a tribute to your delusion.
Yeah.
You're wrong. You know you're wrong, but you're just going to continue being wrong because
Well-
you don't care about being right at all. Which really is a great makes this article a great metaphor for your entire life.
Here's the thing, though. I kind of know what she's doing, what she's going with here. Like, I mean, there's like lots of black kids who emulate Superman or Spider-Man or some shit like that. And it's just, just trying to make it a little more relatable. I kind of get it with her. But yeah, she's going into anime characters. I don't know. Whatever it takes to help you enjoy anime, because that shit sucks anyway. So
The thing is that I totally get wanting to empathize with people that you like, but the thing is, I don't need to change immutable characteristics of the things that I like to watch in order to empathize with them. For example, if I wanted to empathize with, I mean, that's just the nature of empathy. You see a character you like, it doesn't matter what their skin color is, it doesn't matter what their gender is. What matters is that they are a relatable human being, and I can transcend any of those small differences to focus on the big difference, which is we're human beings, and we all have that sort of general understanding.
and that green motherfucker isn't a human being. So there we go.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, I mean, there
the
are a lot of
question
like,
that is. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, there are a lot of like superhero characters that I like. None of them are fat, but that doesn't mean I can't like them.
Exactly. There are tons of black characters who I can empathize with on a TV show or in a movie. Plenty of women characters that I can empathize with. It's all about, well, first of all, it's all about good writing, which this author clearly knows nothing about. But it's also about just being a human being and being able to feel those feelings. And frankly, if you
You're
can't,
totally wrong. Look, I can only relate to fictional characters if they are half Australian, half Greek, and named Terry. That is the only way.
I'm sorry, but if you can't empathize with someone who doesn't look like you, then
And have the
that's
same
your
name.
problem. That's your problem. You have the problem with the empathy, not anyone else.
That's an awfully specific, awfully specific breakdown of what is acceptable.
Terry, I'm going to write a book just for your demographic. Your demographic alone. It will apply to 3 people on the planet, and no one else will be allowed to empathize with it.
Well, like if you can't empathize with people across racial lines, then why can you cross, name lines or gender lines or anything? It's like if the character isn't named Terry, how am I meant to relate to that? I'm named Terry. They're not. They're totally different people from me. I'm like, how am I supposed to relate to that? It's like makes just as much sense.
Yeah, only people named Piccolo are supposed to relate to Piccolo.
Exactly.
I'm right.
People who play the Piccolo are sort of like on the edge. They're sort of almost there.
Guess what? There was a book written a long time ago called Stuart Little. It's a children's book and features a fucking rat.
Well, it shouldn't feature a fucking anything if it's a kid's book.
I mean, it's a mouse, obviously, but that book convinced many children to empathize with a rodent.
I like how you call him a fucking rat, like he snitched on you.
But guess what? Those children have less trouble empathizing with people who don't look like them than you do. And they were able to get down to a fucking rat.
Yeah, and then in the movie...
You have a problem, lady.
And then in the movie, who voiced him? A white guy.
How dare they?
Yeah. Growing up in suburban southern New Jersey, my own racial identity was a struggle. I vividly remember coming home from school and crying because I wished I was white. Somehow, whiteness seemed better, an attitude
kind of is.
An attitude that's not surprising considering the TV programming and my classmates' racial makeup. I didn't want to feel like that, to hate such an integral aspect of my identity. So I escaped, finding a haven in the amazing, brave characters of my favorite cartoons and imagining they were black. It helped me. Children as young as 4 begin to enter the early stages of their racial identity development. By the time they're in school, black kids rank race as an important part of their identity much more often than their white counterparts. Of course, black children are adept at deconstructing and playing with ideas of race in popular culture.
Wait, what? Black children are great at this thing. Also, race is a social construct. What is wrong with you?
Let's see. Of course, black children are adept at deconstructing and playing with ideas of race in popular culture. I enjoyed action cartoons and anime, not only because they were an escape from reality, but because there's a clear sense of justice, of right and wrong. The heroes always do what they can to save those who are in danger, and they always come out on top. It's no surprise why black children wanted to see themselves in those narratives. So when television producers fail to do the bare minimum and make cartoons inclusive, we do what we do best. We make jokes, we use our creativity, and we decide that Piccolo from planet Namek is black as hell.
Do you think that this woman huffs her own farts?
Yeah.
Exclusively.
Like if she found a way to bottle up her own intestinal gas and sell it, she actually would.
I think that she not only huffs her farts, but she has her head terminally stuck in her own ass.
Just so she can enjoy the smell on her own.
And they have to be black farts.
Like you remember the human centipede thing. This woman is like a one-person human centipede. She is stitched to her own ass.
You know, and I'm also wondering if she thinks that if Charlie Brown is black, you know,
It's right
just
there
the
in
way
his
that exactly. It's so stupid. This woman is delusion. She's delusional. She really is.
Clearly, Charlie.
I can understand wanting to be able to relate to characters that may or may not look like you, but I'm going to go back to the title that you have sitting up here. Dragon Ball Z taught me that race is a social construct. Is there anything that where she kind of concluded in the end that race is a social construct?
You're expecting sense from a medium
No,
article.
that's where I'm stuck. I mean, I kind of get it, like, when I was a kid and the Fat Albert cartoons came out, I went, oh, that's kind of cool. There's some black kids in the cartoon, So I mean, I can understand relating to that. I didn't have to change other characters. I didn't have to go through. I didn't have to watch, the Looney Tunes and say, oh, well, obviously the Roadrunner is a black man because he's really fast compared to the Coyote or anything. They're just cartoon characters. But so you don't really necessarily have to change characters to relate to them,
Well,
I-
how about
I-
it? Master, did you identify with Fat Albert? You were saying earlier that you're fat, so
no, I can't say that. Oh, Terry, who that was Terry who has it. What?
Well, the guy who voiced him was also a rapist, so yeah, I did identify with him.
I mean, the thing is, if you are trying to relate, if you're trying to say that a character is a different race based upon oblique cosmetic similarities instead of just the big obvious one, which is like actually being black, like if you were to say, like for example, one of the famous examples, the orc thing, where they say that orcs are black, and honestly, if you're going based upon upon stereotypical cosmetics, I mean, yeah, they have dreadlocks. You go play Skyrim, a lot of orcs have dreadlocks. Does that make them black? I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, of course it does.
Like I said, you don't need to pretend a character is something else to be able to relate to it. As you relate to the writing, the personality, what they do. If they're a hero, you want to emulate the hero. They don't have to be the same color, or you don't have to pretend they're some other race, whatever. Especially when it's like some green, MFer from it looks like an alien.
Well, with the end of the second article comes our second game, which this one I call Poe or No. And in this one, I'll read three article headlines from Medium. Well, 2 are actual headlines and 1 I made up. And you have to figure out which one is made up.
Okay.
Okay, and this one also has a poll, which I'll bring up. Okay.
That's what she said.
All right. So, headline A: How the U.S. prison system contributes to climate change. Headline B: Reconstruction had the Klan. Today we have the Proud Boys. And headline C: Western culture originated with rape and murder.
I don't think
A.
I don't think it's A. A is too specific.
I'm going A.
If it's A, then you're a goddamn genius. But I'm gonna go C. I'm gonna go C.
Yeah, B sounds way too real. So I would either say A or C, but I'm gonna go with A or C. There you go. I would rather go with A or C, but I'm gonna go with A. Final answer.
Okay, so Jack said C. Moon said A.
I'm gonna go with A. A is the Poe.
Okay, A. Terry?
A.
A. All right. Just give a little time for the chat poll to finish up.
And we'll see what Jonathan Frakes has to say.
Looks like the audience is leaning A so far.
Is Jonathan Frakes sort of like our what's her name on Wheel of Fortune? Is it Vanna White or something? Vanna White.
Yeah.
Yes. Jonathan Frakes is our Vanna White.
He turns the letter and it shows his face, telling us that we're right or wrong.
See, in Australia, we had Adriana Zenides doing that, turning the letters around.
Zenides?
And what's the first letter of her last name there?
I'll have to look it up. It was either Z or X.
I'm sorry, I heard that wrong. Is something or X? Something or X?
All right, and the chat went with A. So the answer is B is made up.
Are you shitting me? Wow.
That's right.
That was my second choice.
We got you. Yes, you did.
I should have known.
Damn you, Jonathan Frakes!
I had it narrowed down to one of three, so I just guessed wrong.
Yeah. It happens.
See, this is why we can't have good things.
Well, one of these weeks, they're all gonna be fake, and just to fuck with us.
There'll be a
three
big
of them will be
gigantic
fake.
picture.
It'll be 3 Jonathan Frakes.
And you'll have a big picture of Jonathan Frakes that just says wrong.
Yeah, but then there would be no way for the chat to win because there's no vote for all feature.
Yeah.
He'll sneak in a D option.
Yeah, but if he does that, then that'll be a giveaway. It's like, why is this suddenly a fourth option?
Frosted, please don't go sneaking in the D.
Or
you mean into the prison wallet?
Or what you could do is you can have just a big picture of Trump that goes wrong when he talks into the mic.
All right, and on to our third article. Come on, you guys, or folks. Gendered language is so last year.
Oh, this one's going to trigger me. I fucking hate people that say, guys, saying you guys is sexist. Fuck you. They've been saying that forever.
You are triggering my anxiety. Point of personal privilege. Point of personal privilege.
Oh,
you can stick your point of personal privilege up your freaking prison wallet.
Are they going to have another one of those meetings? Because I really want to watch it if they do.
The best thing I saw was someone put South Park animation with that audio, and it was just perfect.
Language has power. Let's lose gendered language and create belonging with our words.
Why don't you just go fuck yourself and die in a fire? There you go.
by Courtney Branson. Yeah, it's actually a normal sounding name.
But it's a female name. That's very gendered. She should change it.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently her dream has always been to work in a think tank coming up with ideas. Oh.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Yeah.
16 years ago.
Go ahead, man.
16 years ago, I spent 2 back-to-back semesters studying Shakespeare at A&M. Some of the plays were incomplete, a bit of fill-in-the-blank due to time rubbing away certain words. For weeks we read King Richard III one way and then another, all based on one word, busky.
Busky?
Yep.
The fuck does that mean? I'm looking that up.
Urban
Dictionary.
One word can change the meaning. In college I found it fascinating. With one word my entire intent could fall apart. In the workplace, despite what the sticks and stones adage led us to believe, words harm us, dismiss us, exclude us. But
wow.
Did you find out what it meant?
Go ahead, keep going.
All of us are capable of this, excluding someone or group in a word. Taking responsibility for word choice is an individual and collective journey. We had a concept at our tech startup, Square Root, dubbed the anti-bucket list. We filled a bucket drawn on a giant post-it with all the behaviors we don't want to embody. During our last session, the final addition was from our HR manager, Kelsey. She included "you guys" on the list. As a Southern gal, I roll with "hey folks" or "hi y'all." But once she brought it up, I noticed how often myself and others said "you guys." It's a common enough phrase, so why does it matter that we stop using it? We stop using it to create belonging. It's natural for folks to want to be seen, heard, and appreciated for who they are.
The guys is gender neutral. Like, if I say "hey guys," I'm not specifically referring to the men and the boys. It's like "hey everyone."
Now you're being sexist.
No, I found at least 2 definitions of musky, and the first one is when a woman's breasts are so big they bounce while she is performing simple tasks like walking.
Did you look these up in Urban Dictionary?
Yes.
Are you sure there's not a T in there somewhere?
The other one is a combination of big and husky, usually in reference to a female.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Courtney, but everyone calls me Court. That's my intro.
Wait.
What? Because they can't pronounce your full name?
Yeah. You have a beautiful ethnic name. You should use it. That's my intro. So folks call me Court. No one balks. I never hear "I prefer Courtney" or "it's so hard to remember." Yet with "you guys," it's common to hear excuses like that's the phrase they prefer or the one they've always used. You guys.
I will call people by the first name that I know them as. So if you're like, "Hi, I'm Jack," and then you'd later change your mind to "actually, I prefer John," well, you shouldn't have introduced yourself as Jack. You're staying as Jack now.
You guys.
Hi. Annoying as fuck. Is that how you are? No, that's my name, motherfucker.
It's like the old Vine, shithead. It's Shatheed.
or the instead of the therapist, it's the rapist.
Yeah.
Right. Or in Arrested Development, Tobias is the analrapist because he's part analyst, part therapist. Analrapist.
You guys falls into the category of gendered language. It shows a bias or preference toward a group or person, in this case, men.
No, it doesn't.
That's right, folks.
Either
Stop.
the Midwest or the far Northwest. It's you guys is just another saying. It's Northerner person's y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the end of this paragraph is going to trigger the fuck out of me.
Don't say "what's up" either, because there's nothing that's actually up. Up is a direction.
No, Up is a movie.
No, Up is clearly referring to the penis.
Balloons.
Yeah. A children's movie reminds Moon of a penis.
Shut up.
The list of words in this category goes on and on and on. The fix seems straightforward. Use different words. Say humankind instead of mankind.
Oh, fuck
Actually,
yourself,
you prefer
bitch.
people kind, not necessarily mankind.
When I heard that son of a bitch say that, I was like, I just wanted to kick him right in the fucking teeth.
Aren't you excluding like other kin? People like who identify as deer and shit.
And he said, "We prefer people kind." Like, shut the fuck up now. Okay, continue.
Breaking a pattern is difficult, especially if you don't understand how words hurt. We all have the power to influence people's moods and lives. Becoming sensitive, being aware of your attitudes and behaviors that may unwittingly offend others is a lifelong pursuit.
Oh.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think you should become less sensitive so that you're not such a pussy all the time.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, unwittingly always puts a pain in my back. The word unwittingly always puts a pain in my back. Sorry.
Let's see. I lost my place. Let's see.
Good. Maybe we can end this article sooner.
Oh, it's okay. I found it.
To do. Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning so you don't miss anything.
No, you do that, I will strangle this bitch.
Value impact over intent. Hold the belief that we're all responsible for the words and actions we put into the world. There will always be excuses or mitigating circumstances. There's no end to how many times you could say that wasn't my intent. Diction matters, and comments or words used on autopilot have the power to create a gap between intention and impact.
Suck my diction.
Womp womp. Using terms...
Jack, you know what we need to say to this woman? Look at the size of my dick.
You guys keep quoting that. What is that from?
Whose line? Ryan Stiles says it during.
It's one of the. It's a cut scene because they're using. It's a game called Props, and they gave him this expandable like hose kind of thing, and he's got it in front of him. That's like kind of pointed down. He goes, "Look at the size of my dick."
Look at the size of my dick.
Yeah, and the way he says it is just hilarious. He's just like a matter of fact, like, look at the size of my dick.
I'd rather not.
Using terms where the default is masculine, like manpower, or ignoring preferred pronouns, fracture relationships and sever a link to the belonging, connection, and collaboration we crave. Actually,
I've heard that you shouldn't call them preferred pronouns. It's not a preference. That's just their pronouns. So this author is being extremely insensitive and problematic.
Yeah, that's right. Once you decide that you want to be aware of your language, here's what you can do to make sure no one feels invisible through your words. As an individual, proactively seek feedback with an accountability partner. Ask someone to listen for gendered language when you speak.
No.
Just no.
For all the parents out there, your children can be accountability partners. My daughter's always swift to, rightly, criticize my use of mailman.
Oh my god, this is like...
Mailman is double bad because it's got male and man in it.
Whoa, when you start bringing in your kids to police shit, that's like, this is like Fahrenheit 451 shit.
It's like, what if your mailman is a man, and your daughter's like, oh, mom, call a male person, so it's not gender. It's like, what the fuck, bitch? I'm obviously a man. What are you trying to say?
Well, what if they identify as a woman? It's a male man woman.
It's I had that conversation with my mother because someone got on my back about you have to always ask what someone identifies as. You can't assume. And my mum said, look, if someone didn't know at a glance that she was female, she would be mortified beyond belief. And like just the simple act of asking would offend her to her core. And I mean, why is her offense invalid?
Well, I mean, she's white, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is of the racist skin tone.
Yeah. Once you understand your word habits, practice new go-to phrases. You guys becomes y'all, you all, folks, everyone. Okay, but what if you don't want to sound stupid?
How about niggers, but with a Z, so it's okay?
Oh, Jesus, Terry.
With a Z, it's okay.
No, that's doubly wrong.
I'm not laughing at the
I knew it. I saw that coming from a mile away.
Jesus, very...
P-Dawg, you you need
get
to make
I'm from a foreign land pass on that one.
Dawg, you need to make that into a GIF with the star background and everything, and post it on Twitter, please.
Oh God.
If you're guilty of saying man-made, flip to manufactured. While you're at
But
it,
that's not meaning it.
No, it's person made.
while you're at it, scrap words like spinster, which carry a negative connotations, unlike its counterpart, bachelor, as well as introductions like dear sir.
Spinster?
What?
Spinster? What decade is this woman from?
From 1905, didn't you know?
I don't know, $5 says she had a chimney sweep.
$5 says she needs a chimney sweep. If you know what I mean.
Pronouns.
There you go. Dr. Kim just said dear Zir. Z-I-R. Dear Zir. Dear Zir, it's dear Zir.
Dear Abby becomes Dear Ambidextrous.
Pronouns are part of identity, gender expression, and personal choice. If you're not sure of someone's preferred pronouns, share yours and ask for theirs. Using the right pronoun ensures someone feels seen and heard.
I got a better idea. Since I'm not going to be using pronouns when I'm talking to you, I want to make sure the person I'm talking to knows who I'm talking about. So shut the fuck up. I don't care.
How about this? How about
I, me, my, because those are the ones I use for me.
How about this? I have an idea. How about instead of all the pronoun shit, we do a non-verbal greeting. You wave to me hello, and then I whip my dick out and slap your face with it.
Well, that's definitely one way of saying that.
That's certainly interesting idea, but I'm going to pass.
I mean, family reunions will be fun.
No, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just talking about this author.
Oh, no. No.
You have to adopt it for everybody, Jack. From one person.
Let go of your primary school grammar and use they, them as a singular pronoun. It wasn't even until the 18th century singular they became incorrect. We all make mistakes. Yep.
Singular
because
and them only refers to something that you don't know.
Because centuries old linguistic rules are really relevant right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, duh.
Which is why we have to bring up definitions that are centuries old for all sorts of words to say that they're racist now, even though they haven't had that connotation for hundreds of years.
We all
stop making sense.
We all make mistakes. We're all learning how language can have sinister effects, like fostering sexism regardless of our intent. Decide what you'll do if you slip up. Be open to feedback. Be open to feedback and apologize. When two executives proactively apologized for saying "you guys," I knew we were getting something right at square root with our training.
One thing I've got about this stupid fucking bitch saying having a problem with you guys. So does this mean we have to go back to Goonies and when Sloth yells, "Hey, you guys," are they going to have to reword it? Are they going to censor it in a broadcast and say, "Hey, y'all"?
That's one of the
as an Australian, I have the solution. Oi cunts is a greeting that is universal.
Yeah, when Sloth said that, that's when one of the little kids went up to him and said, "Would you please stop using gendered language?"
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they edit that movie? I mean, that Band-Aid's already been ripped off with Home Alone 2. Sure, what the heck? Edit the Goonies.
It's not Goonies, it's Goon X.
Goon X.
To be gender neutral, it's Goon X.
Goon Iman.
Just make sure you don't leave out the N, because then it becomes problematic. All right. I'll skip ahead to the conclusion.
All right.
Language has power. Subtly excluding gender identity with the word guys is only one piece of this story. Consider rape culture. Media and lawyers focus on how punishing a rapist will ruin their future instead of vilifying their impact. Who hasn't heard boys will be boys? Again, I have only heard that line from feminists.
Right?
Yeah.
Or stupid commercials.
Whenever I used to hear it, it would only be in the context of you see two boys fighting, and you pull them, a guy lets them fight and says, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
The common context that it is referred to now, I have never heard of at any capacity ever.
Now, it's always used to excuse rape. Yeah.
Clearly, like boys are inherently rapists, and if you're just saying boys will be boys, what else could you be saying?
Language has power. Western culture's reach is so deep, we often carve barriers around our language that relegate other dialects as wrong or show fear of other languages.
Jesus fucking Christ, get your panties out of a wad. Just stop. Just stop trying to control everyone's lives and micromanage them. Just stop this shit. It's unbelievable.
It's for the greater good, Jack.
Yeah, how about this? How about you dedicate your time to something that actually fucking matters, instead of this endless nitpicking over things that are not only is it stupid at every level, but it is so utterly pointless and trivial. What difference is it going to make?
Jack, they are talking about things that matter. We already read the article about not calling AOC by her initials.
What difference is it gonna make? What fucking difference, even slightly, is it going to make if I stop saying you guys? Whose life is gonna be impacted by it? Who's gonna be like, oh,
there's your surroundings, Jack.
There's like one little kid somewhere who hears me deliberately refusing to say you guys, and he's like, now I will not rape women when I grow older.
There you go. You answered your own question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm waiting for? The penultimate of this this you guys shit is I'm waiting for CBS to tell Jeff Probst that in Survivor he's not allowed to say "come on in, guys" anymore.
Right.
When they have their challenges, I'm just waiting for him to stop or to substitute something in, or say "come on in" instead of saying "come on in, guys."
It's so ubiquitous as a generic term, especially in certain parts of the country. I coach basketball, and when I have girls teams, they always say, "Hey, you guys, come here." I don't say that. I just, let's go. But the girls say it all the time. In fact, they say it more than boys do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to pull them aside and tell them they're being sexist.
Right.
Internalized misogyny.
Yeah.
Yes, internalized misogyny.
And that they're contributing to rape culture.
As a professionally offended person, they must do it the right way.
Also, and P-Dog, thank you for contributing your community by volunteering to coach.
Oh, well, thank you.
I just wanted to see what the reaction would be.
I'm not sure where you're going there, but I'll stay tuned.
I'm not going anywhere. I was just saying thank you for creating a better culture for everyone.
No, yeah, I've been doing it for 30 years.
That's just like Terry's just flat out no.
Stop flirting with the guest, Jack. The power of language was on full display as domestic terrorists stormed the Capitol, and folks.
Oh shit!
And folks softened their word choice. We read protesters instead of looters, and patriots instead of terrorists.
Oh, you went backwards or forward.
Oh, yeah, you went there? Bad idea.
Language has power. It can unite or divide, and it can even unite dividers. It can also include people, create authentic acceptance and belonging, and build connection. There's a lot to
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. Now I just dawned on me what you just said, what you just wrote there. The power of language on full display as domestic terrorists storm the Capitol and folks soften their word choice. Really? Because all I've heard for the last month is insurrectionists.
yeah.
I haven't heard protesters instead of looters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that-
the same sort of people that have been
Protesters instead of looters at BLM protests or Antifa protesters.
no,
Not
those are
looters. And so bullshit.
Yeah, it's a big old citation needed.
I'm just so fucking sick of these double standards. Every time I see it, just a piece of me knows you know what you're doing. When you use double standards this blatant, this obvious, you know what it is you're doing and you just don't care. And to me, that should be a signal to automatically write off anything you say in the future. Any argument you give is just one giant piece of the hypocrisy that is you. And frankly, if I argue with you, if I spend my time arguing with you, I am wasting my time, because all you're going to do is throw up some bullshit whataboutism, or you're going to go, well, actually, and it's all going to be for nothing.
There's a lot to learn about language, but to paraphrase Maya Angelou, once you know better, do better.
She just wanted to somehow quote Maya Angelou. That's like, I gotta find a way to quote Maya Angelou. Here, I got an idea. I'll put it at the last sentence.
I want to know who twisted this bitch's tits so much that she had nothing better than to fall back onto this crap.
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't have like a poet to identify with, so Maya Angelou is white for me.
You know what's interesting? I just noticed excuse me. The first sentence, she said she spent back-to-back semesters studying Shakespeare at A&M. Which A&M? There's more than one. Florida A&M, Texas A&M. There's lots of A&Ms.
That'll be Timbuktu A&M.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like we're supposed to know. Oh, A&M.
Maybe she meant Eminem.
The rapper.
Or H&M.
Well, she obviously has a thick candy shell around her head.
Or maybe S&M.
Wow.
Yeah. That gives "come on, you guys" a whole different meaning.
Giggity. I should add that to my soundboard. Giggity.
Well, Gamer really says her husband didn't find her attractive after the baby destroyed her good parts.
Makes sense.
All right, and now it's time for the last game of the night, which is for the chat only.
Yeah, chat only, guys.
Jack.
You're not thinking of writing a caption, are you?
I'm in the chat.
Don't you dare.
And that's the caption contest, where I will show a photo of a political figure or event, and the chat has to come up with captions for it, and whichever one we think is the funniest, I'll tweet out after the show. And this is this week's photo. A teary-eyed Rashida Tlaib being comforted by AOC.
Oh, for God's sake.
Did we just give money to Israel or something? Is that why she's upset?
I am biting my tongue.
Presumably.
That was pretty good. Check your logic.
I am so sick and fucking tired of seeing people with face coverings. I just want to rip the fucking things off. I just can't stand not being able to see people's faces.
I still want to type right now.
I hope that they're saying it's okay. You can still hate the Jews. You just can't put it on Twitter.
Want me to shoplift some bread for you, Chica?
That's a good one.
That's my favorite so far. Remember to accuse any Republican of murder.
It's okay, Rashida. I wasn't there either.
I like that one.
Oh, somebody clearly needs to be booted from chat.
Yeah.
I thought that was clever, damn it.
Well, if you'd put it in chat, we would have seen it, but clearly no one did. So
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
You people are liars. I did it. I put up with this.
Jack, shut up and buy my book.
Buy my book. Buy my book. Buy my book.
Yeah. Let's see. We've only had a couple so far.
Oh, come on. This picture is just praying. Or it's just saying, please make a good caption. I mean, there's so much good shit you can make with this.
And
I'm fighting with Will on this one so far.
And no, check your logic. That wasn't Google doing it. I have to enforce the rules that Jack breaks. Let's see. I know we're not getting many entries. Let's see. No girl, the orange man was lying when he said the mask would be even better if it gagged you too. You're beautiful without the mask.
I think that one's a bit too wordy.
I know. I got sexually
Yeah.
abused by Jack Gunsky as well.
I like that one, but I'm still going with Will.
Yeah, I'll give another.
I like
submitting
Data's a
mine,
little bit.
I'm
Is
not.
that pleather?
Is that pleather?
I believe your accusers.
All right, give another 10 seconds or so.
Hey, somebody else put in something I think needs to be banned.
Am I gonna have to?
Yep.
Am I gonna have to time out the guest?
You shouldn't. Because we're members of the chat too, damn it.
All right. Well, since you're the guest, I'll give you a warning. Huh?
I think just to troll Jack, we should all pick P-Dog's answer.
No. I said my answer doesn't count, but no one's put anything, so I put it in there. I'm not part of the contest though.
Dog a hide, so that's what my skin is supposed to feel like.
I don't want to win. I just want people to see what I wrote.
All right. So I think I'll cut off time there. So what do you guys think are the best ones?
I like Dr. Kiev's.
Let's see.
Which one was hers? Oh, the shoplifting bread.
Yes.
I still like Will's. Don't worry, I wasn't there either.
I kind of like the simplicity of the "is that pleather?"
I
Yeah.
like that too.
It's okay. Joe didn't sniff me either.
I'm torn between that and Will's.
Okay, I'm switching to Game of Eileen's newest one because that is now the winner for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Gamer Verline wins in my book.
Yeah,
The Joe didn't
Sure.
sniff me either.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Data's because I think Will's won before. Has Will won this game before?
I don't know. So we keep
I'm-
track of who wins.
I'm pretty sure he's won once or twice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Data's.
Well, you're
I-
going to be communist when it comes to handing out victories.
Oh, is
Yes.
this Will's the I wasn't there either. That one you mean?
It's because it's a tie in my mind. And there are no ties because that's communist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my vote is now for Game of Eileen.
All right.
I'm gonna hold on a second. I think Evolved Potato wants to give me a donation real quick so we can put something in because apparently it's
Not
letting
a
him.
pity vote, Data.
It absolutely is a pity vote, but pity votes still count.
I think I'll just go with Data's as that pleather for my vote. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Terry voted for Gamer Valine. What are the other votes?
Gosh, come here.
Data, if it makes you feel any better, that's how Biden won the presidency. So it can't be that bad.
So what did you guys vote for?
I'm torn.
There's my Streamlabs link right there, Data. Evolved if you want to do something.
I'm gonna go with Gamer Valine. It's okay. Joe didn't stiff me either.
All right. And Terry, you voted for Valine too?
Yep.
Okay. Jack and Moon?
I will not be changing my vote. I still like
I voted for Data's.
All right. And what did you vote for Moon?
Kiev's, the Chica one.
Okay, so... And Jack voted for Data. Is Data the one who did the pleather one?
Yes.
Oh, here I got, thank you, Evolved Potato. Caption, AOC's, I've sucked a lot of dick, but how did your brother's taste? Talib says, it lasted like yeast after he took it out of my pussy.
See, if it was Ilhan Omar, that would win.
Yeah.
But for Rashid, it doesn't work as well.
All right. So I think we got a tie between Data and Valine.
Valine. Well, who's the holdout? Like Moon has to pick one of the other then, because he's the one voting for Kiev.
Oh, so I'm a tiebreaker, huh?
Yep.
All right. So what are we up against now? Sorry, I have.
All right. It's Data's, which is that pleather, and Gamer Valine's, which is. I'm trying to find it.
Don't worry, Joe Biden didn't sniff me either, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Gamer Brilliance.
All right. And the winner is Gamer Valine.
Congratulations, Gamer Valine.
So I'll just copy that down so I can tweet it out later.
That's gross.
Evolved is saying he forgot which one was the brother fucker. So yeah, the caption he did.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. All right. And now it's time for the last article of the night.
Oh, guys, I gotta dip out. Again?
I'm sorry. What was that, P-Dog?
No, I gotta dip out. I've been up almost 24 hours, so I'm falling asleep here. I don't mean to leave early.
Oh, go ahead. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all
fine.
good.
Sir,
Hey, good night, P-Dog.
anything you want to shill or something before you go, or?
Well, it looks like everyone here has been to my channel. So there's a couple that names I don't recognize, but almost everybody. But my show's Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and I'm actually going to put out a couple of really short videos, a whole series of short videos on modern day proverbs. Some of them are funny, some of them are like, oh no shit. Anyway, so you'll see those pretty soon.
All right. Well,
but that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, P-Dog. Anytime.
I greatly appreciate you inviting me.
I take that back.
I just posted a link to P-Dog's channel in the chat.
Oh, cool.
You should be timed out. Why are you posting anything, Jack?
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it says message deleted. Yes, that's my channel.
All right. So, and anytime you want to come back on, just let me know.
I've greatly enjoyed this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, brothers. Later.
Bye.
See ya.
All right.
Now that he's gone,
he's going to miss out on the last article, which is what white privilege really means is we live in a fascist world.
Of course we do.
has a picture of people going through garbage.
Really, this is just the natural extension of what everybody expected to happen with white privilege. Because remember back when it was like, oh well, we don't want you to say that you're a bad person or anything. We just want you to admit that you have white privilege because you have white privilege. And we're like, okay, well, isn't that admitting you're a bad person by its very nature? No, no, no. We just want you to admit that you have white privilege. And okay, fine. Well, I'm not a bad person, but I guess I have white privilege. Oh, well, guess what? White privilege now means you're a fascist.
Well,
And you have it on record saying that you have it.
I'm
Yeah.
still waiting to get my white privilege card in the mail. I mean, in the person. Can't say mail anymore. See,
That's true. Hey Camel is the only person I know who has a legit race card.
Hmm.
Because because he's Native American, he actually gets a card that says what tribe he belongs to and shit like that.
Oh.
So he has a literal race card, which I think is awesome.
Man, lucky son of a bitch.
He wins every game. He just plays that one card.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's back to normal. Yay. Is it? After such a terrible year, there should have been a time of introspection leading to growth. But I see scant evidence of such a thing. Americans appear eager to try and pretend fascism never happened. Go back to lives of
Fascism never happened in America. It happened in the world.
Go back to lives of blissful ignorance, and COVID just goes on laying waste to societies in denial.
No, it doesn't.
We haven't heard the message yet, my friends, of an age of apocalypse. Okay, is this like a future bomber? Our heads are still firmly buried in the sand, where they seem to be the most comfortable, impervious to any kind of uncomfortable truth. Even 2020, it seems, wasn't enough to grab us by the necks and shake us out of our complacency. So let me try and tell you a little bit of the message so many of you are so resistant to hearing. It goes like this.
Oh boy.
Imagine for a moment a fascist planet. What do you think such a world would look like? You should, I'd hope, being a reasonable and thoughtful person, reply with something like this. The world would be divided into a master race and slave races. Which one you belong to would determine everything about your life. The master race would exploit and abuse the slave races and call it generosity. The slave races, in turn, having been exploited so long and so hard, would accept that choice over the other one being annihilated. Here's the ugly part. That's our world. This is
but we give them watermelon and fried chicken. Surely that makes up for it.
This is the part where white Americans call me alarmist or hyperbolic or unrealistic. I'm
wonder why that might be.
I'm surprised there wasn't a "Sir, this is a Wendy's" in there. I wonder, though, which part of the above they think is untrue. None of it is. It is all simple, factual truth.
Gotta put that in italics to make sure people see that correctly. None of it is.
Our world looks like this. A small portion of it, about 20% of it, is white. If you are lucky enough to be born in this part of the world, white isn't part of the world.
Yes, it is. If this person says it is, it is.
There isn't
it's
white isn't an area.
Look at a map, Frosted. Over here it says white people land, and over here it says black people land,
or brown, or yellow, or green.
Whitesburg.
White.
If you're lucky enough to be born in this part of the world, then you are going to live a life of relative peace, prosperity, democracy, and good fortune. You may be poor, true, in a relative way, but you will never really have to know the exploitation and abuse the other part of the world suffers. The rest of the world, about 80% of it, is not white. It is everything else. Black, brown, etc.
Wait. So what you're saying is that white people are actually a minority in the world.
No, because minorities are good and white people are bad.
So basically, being 20% of the population of the world is clearly a majority. If you're white,
now you understand.
Math is a social construct.
math is racist.
Can you explain how a witch doctor calls down lightning? I didn't think so.
I thought that was inherent in every person that does that.
I think to show our inclusivity, we should name the Black people area in Spanish, so it could be Negro land.
What unifies it is precisely that it is not white. That alone is what separates it from what white people have invented. Euphemistic terms for over the years: the first world, the developed world, etc. The 80% of the world that is not white is still poor, achingly poor compared to the part of the world that is white. Its average income, if it's lucky, is half as much, and even that is a statistical illusion. In it, the vast majority of people live without decent water, food, sanitation, healthcare, medicine, all the things that the world's white people largely take for granted, apart from Americans.
But apart from that, what have the Romans ever done for us?
And the thing is, how is that our fault? How is it the white person's fault that we've got better stuff? It's called brain power. It's called higher intelligence. I'm tired of seeing these stupid fucking arguments of these people saying, "Oh, we're so bad here. Africa is just nothing but poor mud huts, and the white people have got everything." Shut up! I don't want to fucking hear this. This is not our fault. If you people want to get the fuck out of those mud huts, then you have to start doing shit, not us. It is not our fault.
Right.
We had great things.
If they were smart, they would have been born white.
Yeah, I mean, is the government in those countries that's like, keeping it a shithole? Is that government made up of white people? Because I'm pretty sure they're made up of whatever race is the majority of that country.
And why don't we also take a look at many Asian countries too? Like far Eastern Asians, like you got Japan, you got China, you have a lot of other countries around there that are also very highly developed. So you don't see anybody bitching at them about having a great society.
No, trusted. Those world leaders that you're talking about have internalized racism. That is why they're acting white and oppressing their people.
Yeah. Let's see.
Whatever.
Yeah. So, a fascist world would be a place of a master race and slave races. All that would be determined by skin color. And they spelled color wrong. Doesn't it look so far exactly like we live in a fascist world? We have a master race which makes up just 20% of us, and the rest of us, the 80%, live in a subjugated way to the point that food, water, and medicine, the basics of life, are in question every single day. At this juncture, the white liberal American will object strenuously. They have been taught all kinds of nonsense theories about why the world is this, about why it has to be this way, and they really believe them. So let's go a bit further. When I say there is a master race...
Let's go a bit further is the words of a conspiracy theorist, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All of this sounds like one giant conspiracy theory. Like, not the kind that can actually happen, but the kind that is, stereotypical and absolutely ludicrous in nature.
Yeah, this is the kind of conspiracy theory bullshit that the mainstream media would actually get behind and say, yes, this is actually true.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is airtight logic.
I think it's a distraction from them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. They just want to divert attention away from the real issue.
What, that Alex Jones was actually speaking the truth?
He was. He only ever speaks the truth.
When I say...
Go ahead.
When I say there is a master race and a bunch of slave races, I am not kidding. No, I don't believe that. I'm simply pointing out that I'm simply pointing out that is how our world is constituted. That is the
So
next
you
part
can't
of
believe it, but it's true.
Slavery has been a thing for centuries. This goes way beyond whites using blacks as slaves. This is something that is incorporated into human culture, not just white being the master race
Yeah,
and getting nothing but colored people. I'm sorry, but that's bullshit.
I saw the best tweet. It was someone said, if we knew you were going to be this annoying, we would have picked our own cotton.
Exactly.
yeah. The thing about this is that human history is thousands of years now, and slavery has happened throughout most of it. In which
Yes.
But only
case,
in America. Only in America.
and only by
thousands
white
of
people.
years, and you have basically 150. How long did slavery last in America?
Not
It
even
still
50.
hasn't ended, Jack.
Like
But you
less
also,
than 200 years.
why don't we also look at the fact that indentured servitude was much worse than slavery? You had, and when it comes to indentured servants, who happened to have been the vast majority of these indentured servants? White people, mostly Irish.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah, but
see
I'm
anybody.
sure whites so medieval.
Hey, shut up.
Hey, I don't make the rules. I'm just reporting them.
You just don't see a bunch of Irish people saying, "Oh my God, they were so bad against us." No, it's always coming from the other side. This
That's
is.
because the Irish are too drunk to protest.
I got nothing.
Yeah. The
Faith
thing is
Abagora.
that economic slavery is a very real thing, and that's what indentured servitude was. And also, that you have the concept of debtor's prison, something that has been outlawed in America, but in many ways still kind of exists. Uh, these there is slavery out there that isn't just the traditional kind. You are owned. If you live in America, in many ways you are owned by somebody else. If you have debt, if you have towers and towers of debt, you cannot get rid of it, and you will probably owe someone else the rest of your life, and in that way you are indebted to them in a way that you must pay off using your physical labor. And that is in fact part of your responsibility for taking on that debt, but
And-
we also can't just deny that there is a very human cost to it.
Yes,
and-
and that also. I also go ahead, Frost.
And the places in the world that still have slavery aren't the white majority parts.
No.
Yeah.
and one thing that a lot of people are forgetting, and I love to watch these stupid fucking debunking sites like Snopes say, "Oh no, this is false." The fact that more white people were killed freeing the slaves than slaves that actually existed is never actually looked at all. That's a statistic that's just buried. We fought in a civil war where thousands of people were killed, and not just white people, of course, but thousands of people were killed to free the slaves, amongst other ideals. I mean, the Civil War wasn't just about freeing the slaves, of course, but how many
Fact
thousand
check,
people died?
mostly false. The Civil War wasn't fought to free the slaves for the most part.
Right.
This needs
The-
context.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Well, one of the primary things that people just don't look for, or look at, or use as a talking point. They use such other. They have such a gigantic paintbrush that they're using on this, just to say, "Oh no, slavery, slavery, slavery." They love to use slavery, yet they don't look at all of the facts. They just like one little point, and they're leaving the rest of it just to disappear into history. That's why they're vanishing everything that would possibly give a good reason for why was this done this way? Oh, because this. Oh no, we can't have that though. That's a hate fact. So
Because it's not about equality, it's about supremacy. That's all there is to it. These people are using a history that is not theirs, because odds are, first of all, you're not related to a slave, and second of all, you weren't a slave, and your daddy wasn't a slave, and your granddaddy wasn't a slave. Your granddaddy didn't even know a slave.
See,
That's just
that-
how old slavery is by this point.
when you're used to privilege, equality feels like oppression. So I'm getting that you're not fully understanding how bad this is for the lesser races.
Yeah, all this is an attempt to, uh, it's not unlike stolen valor. It's an attempt to call someone else's oppression your own and then profit off of it.
Yeah, this is what really irritates the hell out of me every single fucking time I see one of these people start bitching about how bad white people are. You know, white people did slavery for a very, very limited amount of time. Yet the vast majority of slavery that has ever been incorporated has been in the Middle East, and it's been mostly against other races that have nothing to do with whites. Whites were actually made slaves by them, not the other way around. So I don't want to hear all this bullshit. This is nothing but a one stupid ass virtue signal about one stupid little point that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
America was not the first country to start slavery, but it was one of the first countries to end it.
Yeah, and yet the thing is, they're making this sound like slavery never existed until America. That's the way they see it in their eyes.
Let's see. Okay. That is the next part of understanding how we live in a fascist world. Why are the world's slave races still poor? All those non-white people for whom daily food, water, sanitation, and medicine are still in question. Because the white part of the world is rich. Let me explain it this way. The white part of the world has built a world where fairness is called paying people in the rest of the world as little as humanly possible to do their work and build their things. As little as humanly possible really means just that. Would you like to live on less than $5 a day? Could you? That is how the vast majority of the people in the not white half of the world live.
Where's your evidence of this?
Wait, is it?
Can I just point out that she talks about the not white half of the world?
Yeah, I thought it was 80%.
Earlier, it was 80% of people.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know you think you struggle, and you probably do, but you don't struggle like they do. Their adversity.
How do you know? You don't know jack shit about me, asshole.
You're a white
No,
man
no,
that she knows everything about you.
And this bitch wouldn't know struggling if it bit her in the ass, so I don't want to hear that crap either.
Their adversity is on a whole different level. If I said to you, I'm going to pay you as little as humanly possible and call it fairness, if I paid you just $5 a day, not an hour, a day, you'd be very angry at me. You'd rightly call that exploitation. Maybe you'd even, again rightly, call it abuse.
Who's paying you $5 a day?
And also, isn't it the governments of their countries that's, in charge of setting up minimum wage and things like that?
And here's another point. If these people get paid just $5 a day, there is one person who has enough money to pay every single fucking one of them $5 a day, and that person is black, and her name is Oprah Winfrey.
No, but remember, if you have time to watch this stream, you have $10 to hire one of these people for an entire day.
Yeah. Or two people, because it's $5 a day.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Can I hire one of these $5 a day people to do my job so I can keep getting paid my regular hourly rate?
Yes. That is what they're for.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that, there are Western companies and stuff hiring, Chinese labor is because the Chinese government doesn't have minimum wages that are, comparable to the Western world.
Yeah, I mean, they literally have slave wages over there.
It reminds me of there was an Onion piece a few years back where the article was all the world's work was outsourced to the world's poorest man. and it just shows this one guy who looks really dirty and ragged, and the premise was he was doing everyone else's work in the world.
If more or less everyone with your skin color was in the same situation, you'd probably just as rightly call it racism. How different is any of this from
No.
How different is any of this from slavery, really? I want to be clear that I don't want to make a false equivalence with even more horrifying things like sexual slavery and human trafficking, but paying people as little as humanly possible to the point that most of the world still doesn't have decent working food, water, sanitation, or medicine, what else can that really be called but slavery? I mean, if you don't know the definition of slavery, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, do you also want to know why these people do this and write this kind of bullshit here and say that it's so difficult for them? Because it's so much easier to claim, oh, slavery, oh, my life is so hard, my heart. It's so easy to say that instead of actually getting off your ass and doing something and making a difference and trying to make something of yourself. It is so much easier to be lazy and do nothing and blame somebody else than it is to actually fucking do something. So shut the hell up and get off your ass and do something.
How
No.
racist of you.
Yeah.
Shut up.
There are, after all, different kinds of slavery. Maybe this is just a slightly more refined and polite one. Now, why is the world divided up into master and slave races? For the same reason it always has been. Wealth makes
White people are better.
wealth makes people lazy, ugly, and foolish. They begin to want other people to do their work for them. The world's slave races exist for a single reason: to do the labor of the master race, just as you'd expect on a fascist planet.
All right.
Yeah, totally true.
The United States is so fucking racist that we had a black president for 8 years. Clearly,
Well,
most
80 years.
racist. Oh, yeah, I know. We should have made him a fucking king. We should have made him a ruler for life, like he's another fucking Kim Jong-un, right?
Yep.
I was talking, I forget who it was with someone on Twitter about this the other day. These people don't acknowledge at all that there are lots and lots of wealthy people who work damn hard, who spend their entire lives at their job and basically neglect all other areas of their life to do their job. And that's one of the reasons why they get paid so much, in addition to
The oppressed black people who finally managed to beat the system.
and the thing is that not only do you take on that much more responsibility when you get to that level, but you also take on a lot more risk when you get to that level, because a lot more scrutiny is placed on you. And that's one of the reasons people are paid such an absurd amount, because they understand the risks that are being placed upon them and they are willing to take those on.
Right,
That is where the huge separator between working like at a standard job versus working at an extremely high level job is that you can get sued and lose everything. You can go to prison. You can lots of crazy, awful shit can happen to you in a much more dramatic and public fashion if you're at that level.
Right, and unless you actually get an inheritance or some free windfall of money, the more you make, the harder you have to work, or the harder you generally will work for it. So this isn't a matter of, oh, I have nothing because they are oppressing me. This is more of a line of, if you want something, you have to work for it. So stop putting your fucking hands out and asking for free shit. I don't want to hear it.
These people will not acknowledge that rich people work for a living.
I think you're overlooking a very easy way to get money that requires no work at all. Be female, be hot, and be married to one of these guys that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, clearly.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip ahead a little to get to the point.
Thank you. Generally, I usually stay quiet through a lot of these, but this one here just This particular kind of article just really incenses me. I can't stand this bullshit.
Oh, I can't stand it when the articles upset my co-hosts.
Shut up.
Well,
We
since Frosted is in denial, I will just say I revel in it.
we live in a
Oh, sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
we live in a fascist world, my friend. I don't say any of this to blame or shame you. I say it so that you understand. You are living in the fallout of centuries of hatred and violence, but it is up to you if you continue them.
I'm gonna stay quiet.
This is
Like that now.
Shut up.
Release your anger.
I have said my piece on this. I just can't. Otherwise, it's just going to keep me up for another couple of fucking hours, just looking for reasons to be angry. And I would like to get
hate flow through you.
I think we found the hate article equivalent of Tron Legacy for Moon.
Yeah. And just quickly to Johnny Blaze, I'm not actually that rich. It's just that my expenses are very, very low because I never go out.
Right.
Just to clarify.
I can verify that. We do absolutely nothing, and we actually our balance our balance at the end of the month is actually not too bad. Even though I was unemployed for as long as I was, since we have so few expenses, we didn't really lose that much. And since I'll be going back to work, it's going to be even better for us. So if you don't do anything, if you don't spend anything, you're going to be fine. Just don't be fucking stupid and spend your money on stupid shit.
That's only because you're on the 20% half of the world that is white.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, it's because being smart with your money makes you white, obviously.
Yeah. This is the world that America made with trade deals and free markets and billion-dollar corporations. The way that this world works is that poor countries in which the majority of people still can't afford clean drinking water, food, or sanitation are paid as little as humanly possible, and so these countries go into debt. The
poor countries are just as bright and just as smart as white countries.
But also, the US is in colossal amounts of debt. So is the US one of the poor countries?
Yeah. The poor country.
Like it's trillions of dollars in debt, or maybe even quadrillions. I don't know. I haven't checked, but
we'll be getting closer to questions by the end of the year, guaranteed.
The US is in. Let's not get into the massive clusterfuck that is the US economy right now, because essentially we have a government that treats it like monopoly money.
Yeah, if you had any company that operated like the United States, they wouldn't even be in business. They would have gone fucking bankrupt a long time ago.
it looks like $27 trillion is the US debt, according to
Jesus
Google.
Christ.
Yeah. So let's give out some more fucking money.
We can't even pay the interest on that.
Well, the good news is I super chat Monkey and Jack occasionally, so I'm doing my bit to pay off your national debt.
I mean, it's kind of funny because the way it stands, if the U.S., I don't know what form the U.S. owes all its debt in, but I think that what the Democrats are hoping to do is devalue the dollar so much that all of that debt becomes basically worthless.
I mean, that does make sense. I mean, from a financial perspective, devaluing the currency so that $27 trillion is enough to buy a loaf of bread. I mean, it'll fuck up the entire economy, but it will get you out of that debt.
Yeah, the only problem is that we probably don't owe it in the form of the US dollar, because you'd have to be crazy to accept that sort of debt in the form of a US dollar. It's probably owed in like gold or some shit.
Which is why I buy birch gold.
Yeah. It's good enough for Ben Shapiro, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. The poor country.
My wife's a doctor. Sorry.
The poor countries in the world at this stage are debtors to the world's rich countries, and always have been. What chance do they really have? What a coincidence that all these people are not white. This is what I mean by a fascist world. We do not have to live in a fascist world of a master race exploiting and abusing slave races and calling all that fair and noble and just. It is not. It is up to us to remake the world. That is one great of lesson that 2020 was trying to teach us.
Oh my god.
Why, by the way, should we want not to live in a fascist world? The fact that this is even a question I feel I have to ask and answer for you is depressing. But let me do it anyways. Because a fascist...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because a fascist civilization is not going to survive. Sure, we can pretend we can go on as a civilization where 20% of people are the master race and 80% are the slave race, but our civilization will not survive that way. We now live in an age of existential threats which affect all of us. Climate change, mass extinction, ecological collapses, the depressions and...
I should be in school.
That's true. Terry should be in school. The depressions and upheavals they're going to unleash, not to mention pandemics. The only way that civilization endures is if the world begins working together in a much, much more cohesive and collective way than ever before.
So what you're saying is that the Great Reset is a good thing, right? Right?
Yep.
Well, if it leads to all of us working together collectively, holding hands under a rainbow, then, sure.
So
Look,
what you're saying
I've
is
got the solution. I've got the solution. I've played a lot of video games. All we need to do is save before the reset, and our progress will be kept.
Push the reset button like on a fucking Nintendo Entertainment. It's like,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. As long as you save first, you can still reload the information.
No, you bring up the command console, do add_money, and then just add a bunch of 9s. And then you hit enter.
That also works.
Yeah.
What's the command console for reality?
I think it's shift tilde.
Let's see. Okay. We are not going to save the reefs and rainforests through slave labor. Can't be done. We aren't going to protect
I'd say we just need more slaves. We can make it work.
Yeah. I mean, real slavery has never been tried.
Exactly.
You know what we should do? Get some slaves, have them genetically graft some reefs and rainforests onto their backs. Then they can now be, look, I'm part of the environment. I am the environment. Don't kill me, because then you'll be killing the environment. See? That way they give back. See? They give back.
Yeah, we turn the slaves into reefs, then we tie a cinder block around their feet and throw them in the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And bam, we got our reefs back.
Genius.
And if you do that, the population of slaves will go much lower than 80%.
Yeah. That way there will be no slave race, and the problem is fixed.
Perfect.
Oh, God.
All right. We aren't going to protect ourselves from the next pandemic by treating 80% of the world of slaves without decent health care, only ignite it. We aren't going to prevent the next Trump from rising by being blind to the deeper fascism our world still runs upon, only enable him.
How the fuck was Trump a goddamn fascist? How?
Because he lost an election and left peacefully, just as all fascists in history have done.
It's the suggestion of what to do with the slaves that you had before reminds me of there are a lot of gay people complaining on some like Chinese service about harassment, and so the solution was just to ban all the gays rather than try and stop people harassing them.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, you can't harass the gays if they're not there.
Yeah.
You guys want to know what Biden is going to do now? He is actually going to he's going to authorize the military to give these transgender people binders for their chest and fake genitals for the women who identify as men. I shit you not.
Right.
Did you not?
Maybe he can give them fake graves too. Maybe they'll be needing them.
Maybe you can hide extra ammo in the fake penises.
This to me says we are now the laughing stock of the world.
Oh
If
yeah.
China and everybody, they're probably just like, you people are so fucking stupid, making your military so goddamn inept by doing all the stupid shit, making everybody look so PC that you're gonna be easily taken over.
Remember how when Donald Trump was telling all of his advisors to like give their loyalty to him, and that people in the media were freaking out about loyalty tests, and then we have Joe Biden, who has all of the National Guard reviewed to see any hints of white supremacy. And now it sounds like he's going to be doing a similar thing for the rest of the military.
Also, I like how when Mitt Romney was running for president, how he got in trouble because he said he had binders full of women, and now Biden is handing out binders for women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, see the stakes here, the message? Then let me say it one last time. We live in a fascist world. I know that you think you are a good, decent, civilized, reasonable person. I'm not saying you are not. I'm saying you maybe I'm saying you maybe haven't thought about all this yet. But now that you have, the question is, what are you going to do about it?
No, the question is, what are you going to do about it?
No, the answer to the question is laugh at it on a stream. Clearly.
Yeah. Oh, you a fucking moron and say you need to go back to wherever the hell you came from and never mind. I'm fine. Is this article over now? Please.
Yeah. I think I should go through it one more time though.
No.
Just in case we missed something.
Yeah.
I will leave right now if you do that.
What white privilege really means is we live in a fascist world. How we live in a fascist world, and white people have no idea.
Don't tempt me.
Written by Yume Hakwe, January 22nd, and it is approximately an 8-minute read.
All right. Well, that's everything I had for tonight, gentlemen. So, let's see. I'll shill out my co-hosts. Jack Gunsky has Quippers United on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, this Sunday we're going to be celebrating Johnny Hellcat's birthday.
All right. And let's see.
Go, John. It's your birthday.
Moonshock has a Twitch channel where he's playing 7 Days to Die. The link is in the description.
And even though Terry won't watch, I do plan on watching or playing other games, but I will not stream that fucking game that he wants me to stream that he would watch unless you buy it for me. Otherwise, I'm never gonna fucking play it.
Well, then you're not gonna play it.
Let's see. Terry Diamantis is he's on this. He's on Quippers United. He's on Johnny Hellcat streams.
Yep.
Yeah. He's on Minions of the Zoo on Della Hayes nights. And is that it?
That's it.
All right.
How do I give a? How do you do that again? Hold on a second.
All right. And so, yeah, like I said last week, I'm shifting to Fridays as our normal schedule. And next week, we plan on having Jack Cochran as our special guest.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. So, let's see. So next Friday at 11:30 p.m. EST. So, just have a bye from my co-host, Jack.
The best laid plans of mice and men. And Henry Bemis,
Moonshock.
the small man in the glasses who wanted nothing but time. Henry Bemis, now just a part of a smashed landscape, just a piece of the rubble.
Oh, damn, Jack got muted. Moonshock?
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, even though this last article triggered the fuck out of me, but I'm okay. And I just put a link in for my Discord. I really don't do a heck of a lot on it, but if you want to join, feel free. And I might do something with it later.
Just a fragment of what man has deeded to himself. Mr. Henry Bemis in the Twilight Zone.
And Terry.
What white privilege really means is we live in a fascist world.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
And don't forget to buy my book. Buy my book.
Buy my book. Buy my book.